Hello, my name is Dora, and I am about to talk about my project proposal. So, my piece, it's tentatively titled The First Human. This is going to be based off of a poem that I wrote a bit over a year ago, and it's actually going to be kind of, I guess, part of a series because I've done a lot of work in very different media based upon this writing already. So I'm going to be doing it in the form of a comic in Adobe Illustrator. I have been using my Wacom pad a lot lately, and I really enjoyed it. And I want to do a lot more exploration in digital mark making. So that's kind of where I got this idea to do this in this form. So yeah, this piece will be done using primarily the blob brush tool, but since I am going to be recreating some images from other photographs and video that I've taken, I'm also going to be using the pen tool to recreate some of that, and I also plan on using the shape tool to create some of the formatting for this piece, and it'll probably appear in some other places too because I like to create tessellated patterns and such that I think the shape tool will really help. I'll also be preparing my reference images in Photoshop, which will then be brought into Illustrator as I recreate them with the pen tool. Yes, so for my calendar, I plan on having my reference images in Photoshop completed by May 6th. I also want to do some analog sketches for this piece just in my sketchbook. So that I can approach it in Illustrator knowing how many artboards I need and how many panels I'm going to need to make. It's going to be kind of a very nebulous panel system. I'll show you some examples in a second, but just kind of loosely an idea of what I need to do. After that, I want to have my storyboarding and basic imagery completed in Illustrator. Basic form with blob brush, pen tools, and shapes, so I kind of want to have a lot of those recreations of my reference images completed by then. And then by May 15th, I want to have all my smaller details drawn into the images in the blob brush, and also have my text written, and that'll give me just 2 days to really look over it and do my final touches, and make sure that I'm really happy with it before I turn it in. Yeah, so I will show you. So I've been doing been exploring comic making in Illustrator a lot lately. This is one that I made recently, and it really is based off of my fine arts analog style, but I just put it into a digital format, which I'd been kind of challenged to do for a while and having a lot of trouble with it. But I think this is the first one where I was actually happy with it. And this one's really loose, and I did it pretty fast. I did this in an hour and a half or so, maybe less. So my final project will be a lot more detailed and a lot more refined, I suppose, but this is kind of the style that I am going for. Other references that I have. So I did a video based on this poem for a spatial video class that I took at the University of Denver last year. And this is some stills from it. I reconstructed this entirely white set, and I had all these objects like a coffee maker, beer bottles, mirror, globe, lamp, the whole telephone, and a book and a mug and all of this stuff in a set. And I did some conceptual movement painting stuff. It started out completely white, and then I formed a color landscape with my body and making painting things with it and such. So yeah, from this I am going to be taking the color palette. I work in primary colors a lot of the time, and I'm going to be using some of that in my piece, as well as the symbolism of creating a landscape will probably appear, exploring a landscape. I'm probably going to be utilizing some of these objects like the coffee maker, the phone, and I have this radio. They'll probably be appearing in my comic. Yes, so that is how I'll be incorporating things from this. Additionally, so this is ceramics I did based on this writing. These are the actual texts. I'm probably only going to be using this one because if I did both, it'd be quite a lot. And this in itself is a complete poem. So, yeah. And this, I'll probably be using a lot of the visual imagery as well. I got a lot of the human body kind of stuff in here that'll probably make appearances. And then additionally, the handwritten text will be in there as well. Yeah, so that is my visual example. So I suppose this will kind of be like a final piece in my trilogy of utilizing this poem. So I'll have a video, ceramics, and then this comic, I guess, will kind of finalize it. And yeah, that is my project plan. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.